Hi everybody, it's Amy, and I wanted to show you today how to make mixed media business cards. Now, I made some of these when I lived in Phoenix, and since I now live in California, I want to make some new ones. And really, you could use any of a number of mixed media supplies. I'll just kind of run through what I'm going to be using today. I'm just going to use this little Cricut paper cutter and some heavyweight cardstock, so I just have one sheet out. Also going to be using some tape, some alpha stamps, and then these are little design stamps. These were from Michaels. It's from the Recollections brand. And I also have the Tim Holtz blender, some Distress inks, the mini pads and the regular size pads, some StazOn ink in Royal Purple, some archival Versamagic chalk ink in Oasis Green, and this is a stamp from Faber-Castell. It came with one of the gelato sets. This is what it looks like. And I'm going to use Memento fade resistant dye ink in Tuxedo Black, and also a permanent Micron 03 pen. This is by Sakura. And for some metallic, I'm going to use Inka Gold in gold, so you can see that color. So the first thing I'm going to do is just chop up some paper, and I'm not really picky about the size of the business cards. I've seen them in all kinds of like non-standard sizes these days. So I'm not measuring, I just want straight lines along the paper, but other than that, I'm not really too worried about size. But just to give you an idea, the width of this strip will be about almost 3 inches, and then I'm just going to turn it, and so it's about almost 3 inches by 2.5 inches for these cards. And they're each going to be a little bit different in size. I kind of like that funky look anyway, and since I'm a massage therapist, I thought it would be fun to do some sort of artsy, funky cards that look a little different. So I'll just start out with these for now. Another idea I had was to use the Distress Collection cardstock. I'm not going to do that for this tutorial, but this would be a nice option because it has a really neat texture to it, and that would add to the whatever ink or paint goes on the surface. And I have some cardstock that I'm just going to put underneath that I was using to pick up spare ink from the last set that I did. So the first thing I'm going to do is use one of my favorite colors of Distress ink, if not my absolute favorite, is Aged Mahogany. And since I have both male and female clients, I didn't want to make it too girly of a card. I think the guys appreciate a little bit of masculinity when they receive a business card and it doesn't look, you know, too pink, or that's just my personal take on things as I've gotten to know some of my clients. So I'm just blending on random amounts of Aged Mahogany. And something I discovered when I did the first run of these was that because of the heavier weight of the cardstock, the Cricut cutter left a little bit of a distressed edge, and At first I thought I needed to make a cleaner cut, but what ended up happening was I decided to use one of the mini ink pads. This one's in peacock feathers, and just go around and make a nice little border, and that distressed edge actually kind of adds to the look of the card. So I liked how it turned out. But of course you can always cut a cleaner edge if you have a fancier paper cutter, you know, a little nicer one than the $10 one that I have. It'll probably cut cleaner edges for you. So just going around these edges. And when I was first doing these, this sort of started to look like holiday colors to me, so I started to add some other colors as well so that it didn't look like Christmas cards. So you'll see as I continue here that I'll be adding some different colors. Okay, so the next step is to get the alpha stamps. Now these are the ones that I just got from Michaels. They're Studio G, and they look like the old-fashioned typewriter type stamps. You could use any alpha stamps for this, and I learned a trick on Mixed Media Jen's channel to get a straight word or name with your stamps, and that is to line them up. This is where the tape comes in. Line them up as straight as you can, and then just go ahead and tape those in place. And it still might not turn out absolutely perfect because these particular stamps, the rubber on them can be a little bit wonky, so that'll get a fairly straight line though. So for this part, I experimented with using different colors. So this is Broken China Distress ink, and then I also used the Memento Tuxedo Black. So it's just kind of however strong you want your name to, or your business name, to pop out. So for this part, I will use the Memento Tuxedo Black. Going to make sure that those are inked up well. Okay, so the tape didn't work all that well to make it super straight, but I'm okay with that. So, since I need the Y, I'm going to hold on to that one and grab a J and an O, which I did have handy and now I can't see them. Okay, here we go. I'll try the tape trick again. Hopefully I'll have a little better luck this time. Try to hold them as straight as I can too. Okay, just checking for the ink on the bottom. Okay, that one came out a little bit straighter. So now I'm going to take some of the design stamps and start stamping. So for this first part, I'm going to use the Versamagic. This is the chalk ink. Now I hadn't used this yet on when I did my test run of these, so I'm not sure how well this is going to show up. It is very light. So what I think I'll do actually is make a darker area. I'm going to use mustard seed. Okay, so for that part, I'm going to try out the Paisley stamp. Now it looks nice and inky on there. We'll see how it does on the paper. Oh, nice. Okay, so that did come out pretty strong. And of course you could use any kind of ink. I don't know how often business cards get wet. I thought about that. So if you were using non-dye inks or ones that will react to water like Distress inks, I would just suggest putting something like this on top, which is a clear acrylic sealer. Just in case the business card gets caught in the rain or something, that it won't bleed. So for this next one, I'm going to use some of the StazOn Royal Purple. And this stamp is sort of a swirly pattern. I'm just going to go in the corner like that, and then here's that flower stamp by Faber-Castell. And I'm just going to do a partial stamp of that. And you can really mix it up and kind of have the same color scheme, but make each card look individual. That's one of the fun things about this project, is that you can make each card unique. So for this one, I think I'm going to try some of the Broken China. I'm going to go in with that flower stamp again. It's a nice vibrant blue. So you can see the difference. This does have more of a watercolor look in the Distress ink, and then the StazOn has a crisper edge. And for this one, I'm going to do the Paisley again. That came out a little bit faint. And so I'll try this swirly one in the corner with some aged mahogany. So like I said, you know, you can do any combination of designs here, and then if you like your handwriting, you can take a micron or other permanent pen and write in your information. And I'm just going to add my phone number and email address on the back, and then stamp the rest of these with my name. And I'll show you what they look like when they're done. Okay, so these are just about done. I'm just going to add my phone number and email address, but I just wanted to show you what I'm going to do with the Inka Gold. Just going to add a little bit of highlighting. And I think it'll be pretty subtle, because then it'll kind of catch the light if the client is turning the card around a little bit. So you could kind of do some little more texture, like with lines. Just really however you want to do that. So hopefully you can see the shine picking up a little bit on those. Just some more little accents here. And so there you have some personalized, unique business cards that you can hand out to friends and clients. I hope you enjoyed this and found it helpful. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.